Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lungile Thabethe if you're new to this channel, and if you're not, you can just call me Lungi. In today's YouTube video, we are going to be doing a quick, easy 7-step makeup look, and it just so happens to be my makeup brand with my beautiful sister Ayanda Thabethe. This is what the bag looks like. Alright, so let's get straight into today's soft glam look. Step number 1 of the Quick Face 7 steps is the Infinite Hydration Mist. This is what it looks like. Right, so this mist has been extremely popular since we've launched it, and we've been launched for 2 months now, 2 to 3 months, but everyone has been loving it, and it's pretty much like going off the shelves as soon as it is placed on them. So I'm super happy about how it's been received. It's super hydrating, and that was the most important step, because for me, if you're priming your skin, you're making sure that it's prepared for everything else that you're going to apply onto the skin. So it was really important that it's hydrated and it's primed well, and that's exactly what this spray does. All you have to do is just spritz it over your skin lightly. Don't drench your skin in it, because it is so hydrating. It's gonna shift how your makeup sits if you put too much. So I'm just gonna spritz it on my face. I added a little bit more because my skin is a bit dry right now. It's winter in South Africa. But what I'm gonna do is go in with a sponge, and I'm just gonna tap it into the skin. So the most important part of this step is making sure that the product dries down. And you wanna make sure that you pack it well into the skin if it hasn't dried down, or if you don't have enough time to wait for it to dry down. Alright, so as you can see, it gives you a really beautiful glow, a natural glow. I absolutely love it in the winter months. And when I don't want to wear makeup at all, I just do my full skincare routine, and then afterwards I spray it, and it's a beautiful natural glow that it gives you. So step number 2 is the Instant Conceal and Contour Palette. So I am the shade medium, but it comes in 3 different shades, light, medium, and dark. And this is because we wanted to accommodate as many skin tones as possible, and make sure that there's a contour shade, there's your actual shade, and there's a brightening shade in each and every palette. So I'm the medium shade, and this is typically the shade that I use to contour, or the combination of these 2 shades. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna warm up the product, and I like warming up my product on the back of my hand. You can obviously use an actual makeup plate to apply the product, but I just like scooping a little bit, putting it on the back of my hand to warm it up. So as you can see, I've placed the 2 shades that I'm going to be mixing to contour on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to mix them together as I place it on my face. So with a light contour, I just place a deeper tone under my cheekbones, around my forehead, just by my nose, not too much because it's not a full glam look. And obviously, just to get rid of all those cupcakes that you've been eating. And as I blend the product, I'll just make sure that I add a bit more as I see necessary, but you don't want to add too much product onto the skin before you start blending. Then I'm just going to take a normal brush, and I'm going to start tapping it into the skin. Now with the Quick Face range, there isn't a foundation step, and that was really important to us. That's basically like at the cornerstone of the 7 steps. There isn't a foundation stage. That's because when you get enough coverage from your concealer, there's not really a reason to have a foundation stage. And the other reason was because I personally struggled quite a bit in my experience with makeup over the years in finding foundations that were the perfect shade for me. I know that a lot of other women can identify to that. And because of that, I would always have to mix different shades to get my exact shade. So now I don't have that problem anymore because all the different colors that I need to get my coverage already come in the different palettes. So depending on your tone of skin and how you need to mix your different colors to match your skin, they already come in the palette, and you get enough coverage to give you a medium coverage that's also buildable. So I'm just going to blend this, and as you can see, it blends beautifully. It's a very creamy concealer, and it feels really light on the skin. That was also another really important factor for us, making sure that we have a product that feels light on the skin, doesn't feel too heavy, but will give you the coverage that you need to be able to get a soft glam look. So this is the most important part of your concealer, is blending, because if everything is blended well, then the rest of the product sits beautifully onto the skin, and as the day goes by, it blends even better once the sun hits and, you know, everything else hits on your skin. So just make sure that if you're taking, because the entire routine takes about 20 minutes to do fully, so in those 20 minutes, make sure that you assign a good amount of time and just making sure you get a really beautiful seamless blend. Alright, so then I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush, and I'm just going to make sure that I blend around my nose. You can even use a smaller brush than I'm using, but this is generally the brush that I use for most of the different steps when I do my makeup routines. This is the Real Techniques 402 brush, and that's what it looks like. And it's definitely one of my favorites. Okay, so we have our contour down. And with the contour, I just made sure that I blended slightly closer to my actual cheekbone and lower closer to my jawline. That's because I'm going to add a color on top and then blend it properly, and then it's going to give you that beautiful transition. So then I go into the shade that's the closest to my skin tone. Now, I've made the palette a little bit dirty, so I'm going to clean it up for you guys. But that's the shade that's closest to my skin tone. And what I'm going to do is take that shade, put it on the back of my hand, or you can apply it directly to the skin. But first, I just move it with my brush. And what I do is just that, to shake it up a little bit. I put it on the back of my hand to warm it up. And then I apply it in the areas that are around the contour. So remember how I mentioned before that I placed the contour shade just beneath my cheekbone, and then I blended it upwards and downwards. Now I take the shade that is my skin tone, and I just make sure that I place it right on top of the contour, and I'm just going to blend that together. And you'll be able to see that as soon as I place it on my skin, it pretty much gives me that medium coverage that I'm looking for in a soft glam look. I like to make sure that I place product around my nose as well, around my mouth, because I have a lot of pigmentation around my mouth. Then on the bridge of my nose, on my forehead. Please do not place a lot of concealer on your forehead. Don't do it. And make sure that if you're putting a bright color on your forehead, you just put it in the center. because when you place products, a brighter product, around your forehead, you kind of don't know where to blend it to, because it does need to be darker around like the perimeter of your face so that it shapes your face. But if you place a light concealer or foundation, whatever you're placing on your forehead, and you place it like way above, where are you going to blend that to? There's nowhere. So don't do that. Please, please, please do not do that if you are really serious about looking decent when you apply your makeup. I like blending a couple of the colors and putting them on my eyelid. So even when you're doing a soft glam makeup look, it's important to make sure that you do cover your eyelids as well, especially if you have darkness around your eyes, or you have bags around your eyes, because it's gonna look as though it's not one full look. So then I'm gonna take my brush, I'm gonna spritz it with the Infinite Hydration Mist. And then start blending it. And when I blend in a tapping motion. All right, so now that I've applied the shade that's closest to my skin tone, it's time to brighten up the face. And with brightening up the face, you take the shade that's one or two shades lighter than your skin tone, and I'm gonna show you where to apply it on the different points of the face. So first is underneath your eyes, but you don't want to put too much, and you don't want to put it too close to your eye line, your waterline. So you just put it just by your nose, and I also like putting product going upwards towards the tail of your brow. And that's just gonna give you that lifted look. So then I'm gonna put a little bit on the bridge of my nose, a little bit on your forehead, basically where light hits your face, on your chin, and just the exact same points on the other side of your face. I also like placing the brighter shade around my mouth. As I mentioned previously, I do have darkness around my mouth, and so I just like it gives your mouth a pouted shape, especially when you add like your gloss or whatever you're going to be placing on your mouth afterwards, or on your lips rather. All right, so then we get to blending. Again, I'm using my trusted Real Techniques 402 brush. I'm going to spritz that with a little bit of the Infinite Hydration Mist. Make sure there's not too much of the mist on the brush, so you can tap it afterwards onto the back of your hand, and then start blending. Again, we're blending using a tapping motion. When you shift the brush on your skin, it shifts the product as well, which is why you want to tap it into place. So as you can tell, it's a super creamy consistency. It blends beautifully, very easy to blend. It does not dry down. And if you leave it for a while because you want a bit more coverage, you'll still be able to blend the product. So then I'm gonna go in with the brush that I use to blend out my contour. And I'm just gonna make sure that I blend it well where the concealer ends. So as you can tell, it gives you a really beautiful bright under eye without being too overwhelming. A super, super bright under eye is generally associated with a much more glam look, but for a soft glam look, you want a beautiful, bright under eye that makes you look as though you just, like you're hydrated, you've been on holiday, you're rested, you know? So I'm just gonna make sure that I blend out the rest of the face, and then we'll get to step number 3. Alright, so step number 3 is the Perfecting Loose Powder. And I absolutely love, love, love this powder. It's a translucent powder that basically like works with almost every skin tone because it literally blends seamlessly into your skin and takes on the color of your skin. It's very finely milled, so it really gives you a really beautiful airbrushed look. And really, what is everyone ultimately looking for? We are looking for airbrushed looks, okay, in real life. So what you want to do is make sure that before you place your loose powder, which you can use a brush or a puff, I like using both, you want to make sure that your concealer is blended. So I'm just going to go back with my brush and I'm going to make sure that my concealer is blended because you don't want to set anything that is not. Because that would mean that you're setting lines and you do not want to do that. So I just want to make sure that it's blended first. Tapping it in with my beauty blender. And then immediately I take my brush, dip it into the powder and press it into the skin. Now with this step, we're not baking, we're just setting our concealer. Then I'm going to take my puff. I'll dip it into the product like so. And I just press that into the skin lightly. As you can tell, it seamlessly just blends into the color, whatever your color of skin is. Again, we're not baking with this. However, you can choose to keep it under your eyes a bit longer. And I'm just going to make sure that I blend the other parts of my face, especially where like my T-zone is quite oily. So I just want to make sure that that's blended. All right, I also like adding a bit of the Perfecting Loose Powder on my brows because my brows do get quite oily. And it just allows me to be able to draw up my brows quite like comfortably if they are a little bit matte in the base. So I'm going to take a bigger brush, dip it into whatever's left on the pan of my powder. Make sure there's no excess, and then just tap it into the skin. All right, and that is your base, the foundation of your soft glam look. Now to finish that off, you want to bring in that beautiful glow. So I'm going to go in with my favorite highlighter. It is the QUICKFACE Supreme Glow Highlighter. And it really gives you a beautiful, beautiful glow, and it blends seamlessly into the rest of your concealer look. And so I'm just gonna take a brush as well. I basically use the same brush for almost every single step because I'm lazy to use a lot of brushes, and I just tap that lightly into the skin. I don't like the massive highlighter vibe. I really like a super soft highlighter. It is quite bright of a highlighter, so you do need to be very careful with how you apply it. If you apply too much, you might just ruin your look because of how potent it is. So just make sure that you blend your highlighter in. And I just want you to see the difference. Highlighter, no highlighter. Huge, huge difference. It just brightens up your look so much and makes you look a bit more like radiant. I'm going to apply it on my cheekbone, on the other side of my face as well. Make sure to bring it up to continue that lifted look. And I like bringing my highlighter to my cheeks as well, because I just think it makes it look a bit more radiant. And then I like blending the highlighter into the rest of my face, or at least the contour. All right, then I apply a little bit of highlighter on my forehead, on this side of the forehead, This is because naturally that's where the sun would like hit you if you're sitting relaxing on the beach. So why not like continue that radiance in my everyday life? So on the side of my forehead, a little bit on the side of my chin as well. And then I use my ring finger, tap a little bit into the product, and then I just place that on my nose. Because again, I want it to remain looking quite natural. So I'm able to control it well in that way. Just gonna blend that out a little bit. Now what you can do is also apply it on your Cupid's bow. So I'm gonna take it with my ring finger as well. Can you see the amount of product, how pigmented it is? And I'm just gonna place it on my Cupid's bow. Alright, so now we're done with our skin makeup. Now we are gonna do brows, eyes, and lips, and let's get straight into that. Okay, so now that I am doing brows, I'm just gonna bring my mirror a little bit closer since you guys know I can't see very well. All right, so with the Quick Face Brow Defining Pencil, it has two sides. The one is the side with the products, and it is a dark brown shade. The other side is the side with the spoolie brush. Now, of course, I've been using this, so it's a little bit like older of a product, but it defines your brow really, really well. The side with the product, as you can see, it's quite thin of a tip. And because of that, it's able to give you really beautiful hair-like brush strokes, and it blends beautifully as well. So first I'm gonna start by using the spoolie side. And I'm gonna brush my brows into place. And once I've brushed them into place, then I use the spoolie side. You don't want to open it up too much, just a little bit so that you have enough control of the product. And I then fill in my brows where they need filling in. So once you've filled in the brow, then you use the spoolie side again, and you just make sure that you brush the product in so that it blends well with the rest of your brow hairs. So I'm going to go back and fill in the rest of these spots that need filling in. Again with a very light hand. But if you want your brow to be a little bit darker, you can just use a bit more pressure. I blend that in again with the spoolie. And there you go. Brow that's done and brow that's not. As you can see, there is a considerable difference. Still looks very soft and yeah, just like neat and clean. So now I'm going to do the other brow and then get on to mascara. Putting on the other eye. Alright, so step number 6 is the Quick Face Volumizing Mascara, and I absolutely love this mascara. I may be biased, I love all the products, but this mascara is close to my heart. The reason for this is because sometimes, especially as a makeup artist, you always feel the pressure of having to wear lashes in order to be able to complete your look, whether it's a soft glam look or a more glam look, but you don't, as long as you have a really good mascara that will give you that volume in your lashes and stay for longer. So this mascara has a curved wand, and it has a really good formula as well, a thick formula that hugs your actual lashes. I first like curling my lashes. I haven't curled them today, but it hugs your lashes and it gives you that really beautiful long volumized look. Alright, so the next step, which is the final step, is step number 7, the Quick Face Ultra Glass Gloss. And it comes in a really beautiful matte white gold packaging, and I absolutely love this. I have it in almost every single purse because you can't be without it. Let's fat, right? And it's a really beautiful clear gloss. It also is super hydrating for the lips, and it's that lasting hydration, not a gloss that's going to give you a really beautiful initial glow or gloss effect, but doesn't last. So this one seriously lasts. It has a flat spoolie, and it has a short wand, which is able to then give you control of how you apply it onto the lips. Okay, so that is the final quick face look. As you can tell, it's a beautiful, glowy 7-step, simple steps, soft glam look. I absolutely love it. This is how I look almost every single day, and I'm so glad that I was able to create that same, you know, easy access to makeup for every single lady in a simple, you know, beautiful bag. When I started my makeup life or my journey in makeup, I was always adamant in that I wanted to contribute to the makeup space by creating products that were affordable and also inclusive to different women of different skin tones. And I feel as though we've been able to do that with the Quick Face brand. And I'm so grateful to Mr. Price in helping us really put this vision to life and bring it to life and make it accessible to so many women in so many parts of South Africa. We hope that you absolutely love the products as much as we have loved creating it for you. We've loved the feedback that we've received so far. And yeah, it's onwards and upwards from here. And I hope that you'll love all the other products that we'll be creating very soon. But yeah, that is it for today's look. Remember to subscribe. Remember to comment down below. Let me know which are your favorite Quick Face products. If you love all of them, which are your favorites, which are not, what are things that you'd like for us to improve on. Obviously, we're open to constructive criticism over here at this channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys at the next amazing video. So the crew behind the camera is the reason why I decided to add a giveaway to today's video. If you follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as comment and like this video, then you stand a chance to win a Quick Face bag. So yeah, you know what you need to do. I mean, since I am a makeup brand owner and all, right? It's only right. So make sure that you follow me in all of my social media platforms to stand a chance of winning a bag. And I will be announcing that in a week or so. I'll let you guys know on my Instagram. But since you'll be following me, you'll know, right? Okay, cheers guys.